So recently, there's been a few developments on Twitter when it comes to things like Project L. It's currently got its name released out, and look at the name. It's uh, oh, yeah, that's certainly a name. So 2XKO. Okay, God, this name is even to say 2XKO is out in the market now, and in the public zeitgeist right now is the League of Legends fighting game, which used to be called Project L. Now, you and I have had my own little stint on thinking about why this game is named this, and even though I've made fun of it as well as the rest of the community, I kind of thought on it when I looked at something like Yaya's quote. Not because I think it's exactly right. Oh, heavens, no. I still think that 2XKO is still a pretty bad name for a fighting game. However, I do think they did name it like that for a purpose. So, for this, I want to go through the reasons that I think it was a pretty bad naming convention, and it's a pretty bad naming convention for a game. And then I kind of want to go over why I think it was called this in the first place. Stick around, because I think I have an interesting, compelling reason. I think that 2XKO is a name that isn't exactly very good for a game. Said that earlier, but I want to really reiterate that because there are a few reasons why I think this. First off, I think that a name should really be searchable and able to be seen pretty easily. Now, granted, 2XKO does fall in that description. I mean, you're not going to find much underneath 2XKO, I'm fairly certain, other than the fighting game. However, it's sounding a lot like a K-pop idol band thing is a little odd. But for that reason, I could kind of think I can let that slide when it comes to like a name, right? It's distinct enough. Second, I think for a fighting game that is similar to something like League, or at least using the League elements, you want something that's, how do I put it, recognizable? When it comes to League, what do you think of? There's like Runeterra, there's Arcane, there's Champions, there's the MOBA. Any of those things relating to it, Teamfight Tactics too, any of those things relating to it, I think could probably really dictate how they could have named this to make this more recognizable for League audiences. And they didn't do that. It's now 2XKO. It's essentially them naming it based off of the mechanic. It's like if I called Rivals of Aether Platform Brawl. I mean, sure, yeah, it's got platforms. I don't think that exactly makes it the best name for the game. I also think that it has to be easily able to be publicly known, I guess, for lack of a better term. And like, I feel like something like Arcane Champions, which is the one I suggested, or some of the myriad of other suggestions online, are a bit better than just 2XKO. Because what does 2XKO mean exactly? Like, I get that Teamfight Tactics didn't exactly fall under this umbrella, but hey, at the very least, Teamfight Tactics is like a name that sounds somewhat like something you would hear around where we live instead of 2XKO. Man, I love my thing of Smash, Tekken, and 2XKO. See how weird that sounds? See how weird that sentence kind of is? I feel like that's like the biggest downside to 2XKO's development and 2XKO's lifespan. It's just its name. Because everything else looks fantastic about the game. But the name is just that one weird sore spot. And why? With all those reasons that I've seen there, like the few reasons I got there, why would you name it that? I have a theory. And it has to all do with a post that my friend Avatar Yaya sent. It states, 2XKO is a good name in my opinion. Marketing-wise, it's good for a 2v2 because for people who don't play tag games, will know that it's a team-oriented game and it can push that. Now, do I agree with this? Again, no, not at all. I don't think this is a great name marketing-wise because of the 2v2. But I do think it is a great name for marketing. And this leads into my reason for thinking that it is a marketing name. I am legitimately about to get a little bit, how does one say, conspiratorial on everybody here. Recently, I did announce the fact that there is going to be a playtest, as well as them being open about more stuff on Project L. For the past few months, they have been radio silent, so I think it begs the question, how do they kickstart the energy? How do they kickstart people talking about Project L again? Well, what if you give a name reveal announcement and nothing else, only to give it a very terrible name? Everyone on Twitter goes around talking about said terrible name and giving the game free promotion because it is such a terrible name. Because let's face it, no one can resist laughing at a terrible name, even if the game itself is very good. You go through and people see that, and then they see, ooh, what is this 2XKO that people are laughing about? And then they see the project development update that happened very recently, actually, towards the development. I think it was within like 2 hours of the announcement happening, or hell, a few minutes. Yeah, I remember correctly. And what if they watch that video and see there's a playtest for this 2XKO game that's actually pretty good and reminds them of this League of Legends game they may just happen to have played? It is one of the biggest MOBAs after all. So they go ahead and sign up for the playtesting thing, and now the game's in the popular zeitgeist, forever remembered as that game with the bad name that they'll most likely change later on, considering the game isn't even out yet. That, or I could just be thinking too much into it. I can overthink sometimes. But I'm curious to know what you think about it. Please let me know down below, and it's ready to, if you want to have a discussion, please comment down below and tell me what you want to talk about. I'm more than willing to do that. With that being said, I think that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate y'all for coming over here and listening to my rambling for however long this has been. And I will see you guys really soon. Bye!